to episode number 93 of Reezy Talks. I'm pretty excited about this episode. I mean, I'm always excited about every episode, but I need to learn this stuff myself. So I don't care how many people are watching. I'm stoked that all you guys are here, but selfishly, this is going to be amazing for me, and I'm going to have all the questions to ask. And who better to deliver the answers to us than RJ Martinez, aka RJ Hustles, and Matt Sheeran, the merch elephant. What is up, boys?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo, what's going on?
How are you guys?
It's kind of funny, man. This is like a reunion here, right? Like both me and RJ ended up on the hustle because of Reezy. So it's kind of fun to be back here.
Dude, I love it. I'm learning from you guys now. That's what's up. So we're live with RJ Hustles and Matt Sheeran. Let me get into the YouTube chat and welcome some of our guests here. If you guys haven't noticed, we stepped up the broadcast game a little bit. I didn't do it because I needed to or because I wanted to. I did it because YouTube forced my hand. So thank you, YouTube, because you might have just made it really awesome. We can do stuff like this, where Jay Green says, "You're the man, Reezy." I said, "Thanks, Jay Green." Matt says, "What's happening?" Shout out Samuel Garcia, Alexander Ye. He knows what's up. There's a lot of ways to make money online. Today's episode is about, I forgot to tell you what the episode is about. I'm sorry, guys. Today's episode is about Kindle Direct Publishing. So if you follow my content at all, you definitely know what print on demand is, right? So print on demand means that you take stuff and you sell it on stuff that doesn't even exist yet. When people buy it, then it gets printed. And it's just a beautiful thing because you don't have to invest in stuff before it sells and hope it sells. It's just like, in my opinion, it's the most like quote unquote passive thing there is. It's not passive. It requires a lot of work, but if you do it right, I don't think you can exceed print on demand margins, but with anything except for information sales. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
There's nothing more profitable than information sales, but Kindle or print on demand.
I mean, it's pretty hard to beat nothing up front. Like that margin is pretty fucking good. Yeah, I mean, it's. I think that for a lot of people, you know, like we got our start in books because of you, right? Like, and it was good for us to do that because it kind of opened us up to like the Amazon world and understanding how like, you know, all of it works. But this way, in some ways, is better because books, you still need a little bit of cash, right? Like you still need to be able to put some money out, buy the scanners, do all that stuff. Whereas with this, like the investment to get into it is so much less.
Yeah, and a lot of people think you have to be a designer to do it. And that the truth is you just don't, right? Like I have designs I've made on my phone while waiting in line at Disneyland that I thought would never sell because they were so stupid. Some of my best sellers. I'm talking about t-shirts right now anyways, but it's all the same concept, right? It's like
Yeah. I mean, like I think what people get hung up a lot of times with books too, like the KDP thing is like, I'm not an author. I don't know how to write anything. Like the brilliance of this is like you're not writing books. Like you're making things for people like journals or composition notebooks, things that are like very low content, very basic. You can do coloring books, for example, like all those things. You don't have to like be able to write a sentence. RJ can't write a sentence anyways. Like he's having tons of success with it.
Nah, that's another thing too. That's why a lot of people can relate with me because like I suck at a lot of things, but I still do it. You know what I mean? This is why it's like a lot of people are like, but I like helping people out too as well. That's why people will just like.
I think you try to pretend like you're way dumber than you are, though, bro. You're one of those sneaky motherfuckers out here.
No, I like let people talk and they talk sometimes. They talk too much, and I'm just like, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. RJ's the quiet guy in the room that knows everything.
RJ's like the nicest person like in this community. Like literally, he's like the nicest person. He's just like he's super happy and everything else. So like it's easy to take little shots at him and make fun of him.
Oh yeah. Like I don't know if you remember Seattle when we went to that bar and we saw the Beastie Boys cover band. I don't know if you remember that at all, RJ.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember probably half of that night.
Yeah, I remember.
He remembers the pictures that came out afterwards.
Yeah.
So big shout out to Matt and RJ for showing up today on the show to drop knowledge for free. So first off, in the description, I didn't have a lot of time to write stuff in there, but I did put Matt and RJ's YouTube channel link in there. Click on that and go subscribe to them. It's the least you could do for them, giving us an hour of their time. But on top of that, RJ gave me 2 links for free downloads that you guys can use. I don't even know what it is. Can you explain what those are, RJ?
So basically, it's like a step-by-step to actually upload your first book, your low content book. For example, let's say like you're uploading a unicorn journal with page numbers on it, right? And that's what it is. It's just like, let's say like a notepad, basically a unicorn notepad, right? And you upload it, and then it'll kind of take you step by step on how to do that. And then the second one is like a game plan, like how to take over a niche. Let's say you have one niche let's say you upload your book and you make a couple sales, and you want to come back in and see what you can do to dominate that niche. And that's pretty much it right there. I can give you the whole game plan on that too, just a breakdown.
That's both of them, or just one of them?
That's one. No, that's there's the how to upload your first book, and then there's a second one is like the game plan. Like basically, like I said, just how to take over. Yeah, and get a better understanding how to increase your sales and stuff like that. Because like it's honestly with KDP, it's so open right now. Like you upload like 20 books, like your chances of making a sale are pretty high.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's kind of like the way that merch was back in the day, right? Like you just throw random shit up and it would sell.
Yeah,
KDP is the exact same way. It's wide open, and I feel like honestly, like merch, you have to have like a little bit of talent, right? Like you have to have a little bit of talent. You have to be able to figure out like what kind of looks good or not. With KDP, man, like it's just a different ball game. Like you are making some stuff that is, it's pretty basic. It's not anything that's super complicated. You're just trying to solve a need for somebody, solve a problem.
Right. Real quick, let's take a necessary pause to remind you guys to hit the like button. So with the new system that I'm using, I can't see how many likes this video has, but I promise you it's not enough. So just hit it again, tell someone else to hit it, and hit the share button too, and share the broadcast out for your Facebook friends, for your Twitter friends, so that you can provide some value. You never know who needs to see this video. Like literally, this broadcast could change someone's life, and you're not pressing the share button. So I'm just, heads up, look out for your peeps, right? But let's go into this. Like, I haven't done it yet. I haven't even made an account yet. And so like,
well, let's start off with the best thing about KDP compared to merch. Like your account is instantly approved. Unlike merch where you have to like apply and wait and hope you get approved, like KDP, you just get approved. You apply and literally like 5 seconds later, your account's set up.
People get scared when you say that, because it's like, oh man, everybody's gonna come in here and like spam the platform. No, right. It's crazy, because it's like, honestly, it takes time to actually upload your first product. It does. But there's a lot of free tools out there that you can use to actually help you with that. But for the most part, it's like, if you have a really good book, no one's going to actually take the time, because it just takes too much time to actually make a custom interior. You're uploading it, and then, dude, it's like things on there make sales like crazy.
So let's go with the first question that I have. I kind of know what I would maybe do, obviously starting from zero content journals, or going into like the example you gave me. I think we were on Instagram when you were showing the fishing book or explaining it, fishing log. What are these being designed in? Photoshop or what? What are you making them in? Illustrator?
There's a ton of people that make stuff straight in Google Slides, like just literally Google Slides on G Drive. It's a free tool. Like you can do all your layout work, everything else in it. Like there's a ton of people that's all they use for that stuff. Or PowerPoint. PowerPoint's also really, really common. You can use
there's a certain template size that you need to follow, I would imagine.
Yep. Yeah. So you get the template size from KDP. KDP will tell you like what size you need to have all your pages and everything else. You just follow along with the directions and then just lay everything out.
Is there more than one type of book you can print?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a bunch of different sizes. So everything's paperback. Everything is, there's not like spiral bound or hardback or anything else. Everything's paperback.
So the binding looks roughly the same on all of them.
Exactly.
Okay. But you got like, what are the different sizes? Coloring book obviously has to be one size.
Yeah. So I mean, it's whatever size you want to make it. So it goes all the way down from like it's like 5x7 all the way up to 8.5 by 11. RJ?
Yeah. I just we went over a video a little bit earlier today. It's like let's say like a reservation logbook for like a restaurant, right? That's like usually like 8x10, something like that, rough. And just kind of just like the room that you need.
So there's a good amount of options. How many roughly?
Yeah,
I would say there's probably like 10 to 12 different options sizing wise. And then obviously you have like page count too. That also determines how big your book is.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then also too, like I'm thinking smaller book, like 5x9. I think that's what you said. I'm thinking like a golfing pocket logbook. You know what I mean? For like golfing, keeping score and stuff like that. That would be kind of ideal for that back pocket.
Or if you're a bachelor, keeping numbers, old school style. Like on the cover, you know, like I'm a nomad. This is my little black book. Like
Oh, man.
anti-digital.
Yeah.
Anti-digital. They're watching.
Traditional. Yeah.
But
So what is 100% of everything that's printed what you put in there? There's nothing that the platform will add for you automatically. Like it won't automatically add page numbers or anything. You got to do it all yourself.
the platform will add page numbers, right? I believe. You
No.
don't have to do pagination unless you want to.
What do you mean, like the page numbers as in like how many pages are in the book?
Yeah.
Like printed in the book, like in the corners, the page numbers.
You got to do that yourself.
Yeah.
There's a where did I see I was actually doing that today on one of my interiors, but I think on like there's like a few like softwares that you can do that with, but it's fairly simple. You know, just put page number and then just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, fairly
right,
simple.
right.
But
So what is there?
in there.
What like let's? I guess this is just me. I don't know if this is what the way that everyone else would take it, but what are the softwares that you need to use to do this? I mean, obviously you said you could use Google Slides, but like from a perspective of you're doing it and you don't want to waste time and be as efficient, what software are you guys using to make it possible? And then after that, let's go with like the super bare bones method, which I guess you said was Google Slides, but
yeah. I think the majority of people use PowerPoint, man, honestly. Like, so my wife's a designer. She uses an Adobe product. It's called InDesign. It's for publishing. It's specifically made for that. But most people use PowerPoint, man.
Okay. PowerPoint. What else?
And then you're
like for everything, for like not just making it, but like uploading, or I mean, I don't know. There has to be some stuff in there.
Yeah. No, there is. So like for example, the same guy that made Merch Informer, Neil Lassen, he came out with a product called BookBolt. It can help you with like doing designing and stuff, both for your covers and your interiors. It also helps you with some of the research stuff. It has an uploader built into it. He also has an automator. So unlike Merch, you can actually automate the upload process. You can literally have this thing go through and just do everything for you.
Awesome. Can you cross publish to multiple sizes at once? Or I guess you can't really because your content is built to the size to fit it, right?
Yeah, but it's easy to set it up. So you can just set up in batches and do whatever you want to do.
Nice. Any other, what else automation software wise? Anything
There's not
else?
really a whole lot else that you need to have, man.
Is the research part as serious as it is with Merch?
Yeah, but it's easier because there's more opportunity. Like you go into niches and you're like on Merch, it would be like 6,000 results, right? And you'll go onto a book on KDP and it's like there's 400 people there, and half of those people are like not even really in that niche.
As long as you're not trying to make a unicorn journal, you're probably pretty good.
Correct. Exactly.
So like this question real quick, Auto Reality says, how do you get your book in front of people's eyes? With established products, you have so much more data to look at.
It's the exact same way with this, right? Like, so like when you guys are looking at books and you're scanning books, right? You guys are paying attention to BSRs and you're looking at what average BSR is, and that's going to help you make the decision whether you want to buy that book or not, based on what the market is. It's the exact same way with this. It's just you're looking at other stuff within that niche, right? So say, for example, your unicorn journal example, right? Like you're just looking at Amazon, looking at those unicorn journals and seeing how much demand is there. What do the BSRs look like across the entire results? Like how many of those results have a BSR, and that's going to help you determine what do you want to do. Like
this is just like I think this is a good idea real quick. So obviously unicorn journal is probably pretty saturated. Honestly, that's like the first thing I think of in my head. And it's funny that you said that too. So I feel like everybody thinks of that. Literally, my kid has a journal with a unicorn on it, and it has like a flippy sequin cover. Like she loves unicorn everything. But is it already so played out to where like that's fully saturated even in sub niches? Like what if you made unicorn journal, but it said, 7 years old, 6 years old?
I mean, I think so. Yeah, I think the easy scaled stuff is probably not the best place to go. But like if you were to do like a unicorn journal for dancers, right? Or a unicorn journal for like hobbies that kids are into, like unicorn journal for softball players, right? Like that kind of stuff. Then there's a ton of opportunity there. And
unicorn playing softball, unicorn doing ballet.
I think how to draw a unicorn, that's not saturated that much. So if you go in there and look at it right now, they go how to draw a unicorn. That of course it's going to take some work. You know what I mean?
Right. That's probably one of the more involved types of books to make because it's every page is unique.
But that's the thing, though. You got to understand that if you put in the work, you're going to have
there's more barrier to entry for those things that require more work. So I was curious about the fishing thing, and I want to break it down real quick because not everyone knows what I'm talking about. RJ made a fishing log. You got it on you? Can you grab it? Is it right there?
Well, no, I don't have it on me, but I can
It-
actually share it so you can put in the links later on. There's 3 of them. They're all free downloads.
Yeah, but basically it's a logbook for fishing, little journal, little what you caught, where'd you fish at, whatever.
Let
But
me grab
how
some.
many unique pages are in
Okay.
that book, RJ? 2
Uh,
pages or 4 pages or 6 or 8, and then they repeat, right?
yeah. I think about 3 or 4, and then it just repeats after that. There's so much you can do. I'm telling you, like I got on the live on YouTube and we talked about the coloring books. There's so much you can do. So what the fishing log is like, you got to understand what the customer's fishing for, of course, right? Like who's buying this product? Like, you know what I mean? Who's going to actually go out there and buy this physical product?
Yeah,
And
literally maybe ask your friend who's a fisherman.
yeah, like
Mhm.
what are you doing? Like the times and stuff like that. It's very important for the times. Like your first reel, like what time did you throw out your first reel and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that's very important because then like I don't know, just that right there, little detail.
Somehow it helps them be a better
Yeah,
fisherman.
yes, I don't
That's
know.
all that matters to us.
Mhm.
Or someone thinks it will help them be a better fisherman.
Well, think about it for you, right? Like, so like you video your skate sessions, right? Like you
Mhm.
video because you want to have a record of it, you want to keep track of it. It's the exact same way. It's like their way of
Yeah.
keeping track of all this stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly. But also, I thought about this in another way, and these are just my ideas because my first thought was like, besides unicorn, I was like, oh, I could make a Reezy resells to-do list or planner or whatever. Because honestly, I've never seen a planner that I actually like. They're just never perfect, and so I'd
Right.
make it how I want it to be, and then I have my own branding, and like voila, you know what I mean? But then I started thinking about that exact example you said, skateboarding, because I remember when I was a kid we used to have skate, what did we even call them, skate trick bibles. Like it would be like tricks you want to learn, you'd like write them down when you're not skateboarding, like these are the ones I want to learn, and then like when you land it you'd like cross it out, and maybe like if you were cool write the date next to it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But same kind of thing, how could you set up a book for that for people?
I mean, what about like a book hustler's planner too, man? Like like when the Goodwill or like the good spots are going to get the new like the reloads.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Like,
You know what I mean?
what store did you go to? What's the manager's name? What's the employee's name? A little blurb where you can write, Tina said her son Jerome was sick last week, so then you can remember that, so you can ask if Jerome's feeling better next time you come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's really
I mean,
good.
I have like a pet journal right here. Like it's super basic. You can tell, like we bought this just as research, just to see what it was inside of it, and you can see, like super basic, right?
Okay,
Like,
so it got a photo for your pet, their name,
right. And there's like names, breeds, and
favorite
stuff like
foods.
that. Yeah, exactly. And
How
it's
many
like,
unique pages are in there?
there's probably 7 really. Like it's got some vet information, and then it's just got a bunch of these right here.
Yeah, and see, that's the cool thing too with Google Slides.
Hold
So-
on, I'm gonna put you on the full size, Matt. Let me see if I can figure this out.
That's yeah.
Boom. All
That's
right,
a cool
cool.
thing with Google Slides too as well. Like you can make 7 unique pages, and then you press what, Control C, and then press Control V, and it
It
pastes.
just copies it. Yeah, like that's literally this entire book. The entire book's like 120 pages. I think when we bought this, like the BSR was somewhere around like 300K BSR. So you guys that have been doing books for a while, like like how often that's going to move. Like that's selling like probably like 5 times a week.
The rank is in books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
So,
God,
like,
I love this even more.
yeah.
Dude, that's yeah.
What's up with what is this right here? I saw a question, it just disappeared. Someone said, "What about Create Space? Didn't this used to be Create Space?"
They folded Create Space into KDP. So it's all the same thing now. Create Space doesn't exist anymore. It's all KDP.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's another thing too, Reezy. Going back with the BSRs, it's in books. So I'm just like, God damn, like this. We'll find some BSRs with like 3K. I'm like, there's no competition in this motherfucker.
Dude, it's
That's
crazy.
insane. 3K is selling some copies. I wish I had Caleb Roth on here because he'd be like, "Oh yeah, 3K definitely selling about this many." Here's one real quick. If you guys have questions, or if you just want to see your YouTube image on the screen when I put it up there, go ahead and put it up there. But Solid Cells here has a question. What about a journal with inspirational quotes for parents? How does it work using quotes?
So it works the exact same way as if you were doing anything like merch by Amazon or any kind of like sales, right? Like you can't use something that is somebody else's intellectual property. So you can't use like movie quotes or like song lyrics, those kind of things, unless they're in the public domain. So unless they're from like before 1923. So if it's before, like,
so if you're gonna
1923,
make a book with a quote on every page or whatever, then make sure they're pre 1923.
exactly. So like go like if you want to look at like for example, like Stoicism is really big right now, right? Like everybody's into like Stoic philosophy. Like you can go get quotes from all those different Stoics, put it on all across the top of the pages, and just have like a Stoic journal. It's just a line journal with a little quote at the top that's like a writing prompt.
Right. That's awesome. Here's a good idea. Thriftologist says like a log for yard sale purchases where you don't get receipts.
100%, right?
Yeah, that would be sick. That actually like might
Like-
save you some money in the long run.
And this is the thing that we try and drill home to like the people that are going through the challenge that we're putting on right now is focus on the stuff you know. Focus on the things that you have a unique advantage in, right? Like all of you people that are doing like the side hustles, that are doing garage selling, or you're doing books or everything else, you guys have knowledge about things that nobody else is going to really know about. Things that only somebody that's looking for those items is going to understand. Like start there and focus on that, because that's your unique advantage. That's how you create something where there's not a whole lot of competition, but there is demand, and you can actually get a lot of sales.
That is a really huge nugget. And just thinking about it right away, I've been talking to designers today just for other reasons. And so I'm thinking, man, these designers, like they don't even know they got gold in their brain. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, like, and then RJ was like the how to draw thing. And I don't know if you guys are too familiar with it, but a lot of artists, especially illustrators, there's like these challenges that will run on Instagram. You know what I mean? It will be like 30 days of cats, October is cats. And then like everyone's like hashtag 30 days of cats. And then they, you draw 10 minutes or less, whatever the stupid rules are, pen and ink only, draw a cat, and it's like this huge culture. You could create a book like that where it's like the 30 days of cats journal, you know what I mean? For artists and illustrators and maybe some kind of prompt, and then boom.
That's like, I'm just like with KDP, there's so much like weird stuff that sells on there. Like, on Amazon in general. But when I see a lot of people making like weird KDP books and they just put they're on Amazon, of course, but it's like, who's buying this stuff? You know what I mean? I actually showed this actual coloring book before. I'm gonna show it to you guys right now.
Show it again.
A lot of people like it. It's
hold on, let me put you on solo real quick.
It's farting sloths. Right? Coloring book.
Dude, you're taking it to the next level, bro. I'm pretty sure I told you that idea and you stole it from me.
No, that was actually Matt's idea. He should actually show me on the research on Amazon. And then like you can just see like, okay, so look at the front cover, right? You guys get the idea.
Luna wants that so bad.
A lot of people overthink this, but look at see the color without color, right? And then like let's go to like middle of the book or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, but just honestly, farting cute animals, it's just the best contrast ever.
Yeah, and that's just all it is.
Oh my god.
Simple, man. And nothing on the back. Okay.
And how many unique sloths are there? Those are all unique all the way through, I would imagine.
Yeah, I put 20 all the way through them. Also 2 KDP.
And how much does that sell for?
This one right here I put at a low price. I put this one at $3.99.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. What's a break even price? $2.99?
I'm not even sure.
I think minimum is somewhere around like $3.99.
It varies on what book you're using,
count,
right?
Size, everything else.
Oh wow! How do they charge you for the product then?
So all that's set up when you upload it. Basically, you put in the price and it tells you what your royalty is. The cool thing about KDP, unlike merch, right? So like we have the USA, we have UK, and we have Germany. Like KDP has expanded distribution. So like you click a button and suddenly it's live in like 8 different marketplaces. Plus it'll actually go live in like bookstores and all kinds of other stuff.
Oh,
and
it goes straight to like .it, .mx, Canada.
Yes. And it's just free money, man. Like you don't have to do anything. It just gets uploaded everywhere and people buy it.
But there's like a base price per type of book you choose or a minimum amount of pages, and then the more pages you put into it, the more you get charged.
Yep, exactly.
So that's why there's not like a standard break-even cost.
Correct.
Yeah,
but probably I think it's around like $3, right? 3 to 4.
Yeah, it should be
3 to 4 depending on what it is.
Because I know authors that have used KDP just to put out their book. You know what I mean? And then they put it at like break even, and when they tell you to go buy it, it's only $3. It's like, duh, okay, I'll buy it. It's $3. But because of that, they sell thousands of them, especially people that do the speaking circuit. Then if it's any good, then they get a lot of reviews. And I know one gentleman, Sean Whalen, he actually used this tactic, and now his book sold so well on KDP that you can go find it in the actual bookstore.
Huh, that's wild.
So that's somehow it works. When you sell enough copies of it, then they go and put it in the actual Amazon bookstores.
That's interesting because
I see the question there, like profits per book. Like on average, I mean, it depends again on like what you're doing. It depends on how complex the book is going to be or whatever. You're looking about like $2 a book. It's a volume game. But
Yeah.
we know somebody who is going through the KDP challenge right now that had a book last month that did 5K. That one book,
5,000, $1 or two at a time.
Yep.
That's insane. And I understand those margins fully because I discounted pop sockets at first on merch.
Mhm.
And even though I only make $1 or like, I feel like I can max make $2 on a pop socket. Anything higher than that, I feel like is asking too much because a pop socket's really only like $10. How are you going to sell it for fucking 14 or $15?
Yeah.
But some of my best selling items are pop sockets, and they just sell, sell like 3 or 4 a day. It's not, it's not a ton, but like overall, they're outselling t-shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Also, too, like it depends on the niche too, as well, because of like market research and stuff like that. Like there's one niche I'm in. I have about 20 coloring books in there. I'm going from $6.99 to $8.99, and the $8.99 one has like 4 reviews already. So I just bumped up the price, and it's still making sales consistently. But
so a lot of the same strategies apply.
Kind of
when you get reviews, as far as pricing items do, and SEO, that kind of stuff, and looking, demand and whatnot.
KDP is definitely like a scale game, right? Because there's no tiers, there's no upload limits. Like you can put up as much stuff as you want. So, like in my opinion, it's better to just price at what you're going to price at, price to market, and then not worry about it, not come back to it. Because like changing prices in KDP is kind of a pain in the ass on the dashboard. It's not easy to quickly go through it. They don't have like a pretty merch or something like that that allows you to quickly change prices.
I'm sure Neil will be all over that soon. So this comment from Ron Watt talking about the logbook helps you following the seasons, tides, temp, weather. We've been keeping one for 20 years. So there you go. There's a guy that actually keeps one. Maybe do you buy it, Ron, or do you just do it on a notebook paper? But just the fact that right there he said tides, that made me think about surfing. I live in a surf town. I don't actually surf. I mean, I can surf, but you know what I mean? You surf, you have the log. You could be like, yeah, I went out at this time. I caught some waves, you know what I mean? Had a super sick, cut back on a nice right, like whatever. Like, and then what was the time? What was the tide? What surf spot were you at? You know what I mean? Maybe a little, because we're going into this, I don't know. Doesn't it seem like journaling is just becoming more popular than ever?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's like, the key to success is journaling.
It's the pushback, right? Like, so like you have the pendulum, like everybody is all into their cell phone. Everybody is all into social media and everything else. And then you're going to have the pushback as people realize like that's taking over their lives. And we want to go to the opposite of that, like non-digital, not spend time in front of our phones. Like let's spend time getting to know ourselves, all of that stuff. So I think it's only going to become more popular. This stuff is definitely going to become something it's an alternative to like being on your computer or being in front of the TV.
Yeah,
no,
I love keeping journals.
Shout out to Ron Watt too. That was a nice profile pic, by the way.
Dude, Ron looks
no, but keeping a journal, I understand why people keep journals. Like I don't write in my journal every day, but if I have like an amazing day or an amazing weekend, you know what I mean? I want to like write it down and remember it, and like whatever. It seems super stupid at the time when you write it, but even just 1 week later, looking back at that and being like, oh man, that was fun. You know what I mean? Like.
Sure.
So I can see why people are getting into it. Did we cover this? How much was the coloring book selling for? The farting sloth coloring book?
Oh, that one I have it at $3.99.
$3.99. Your kids can color sloths farting for $3.99.
No, but I was just like, messing with the pricing and see what happens, and like, you know what I mean. I was testing at the beginning when I uploaded that one, and just wanted to get an idea like what it's selling. It's making sales, but it was just a test. You know what I mean? Just throw it out there because I'm going to be making more. Also, too, like the good thing about KDP, you get a free ISBN number too. That's sick. We want to touch on too as well. You can provide your own barcodes, but the ISBN number that they give to you for free, I'm just like, what is Amazon doing? I'm pretty sure they might be charging soon for that. I'm thinking,
right? Because they're not free. You know what I mean? They're coming. Yeah. There's like an organization that regulates that shit.
Yeah, KDP's been around for 13 years. I don't see that changing at all. Like,
so right here, where do you go? What's the website for Kindle Direct Publishing to sign up?
kdp.amazon.com.
kdp.amazon.com.
Super easy to sign up to. Like, it literally will take you less than 10 minutes. I see somebody in the questions asking about like, how do you design the coloring book? Like, do you do it yourself or do you have a designer?
It's not somebody. It's Mark Corbett.
There we go.
Looks really good in his profile picture.
Nice. So neither RJ or myself are like graphic artists, designers, whatever. We have designers that work for us. So those are the people that put together the coloring books for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
no.
so like for a coloring book, for example, the first thing I think about is taking all of my designs that I already have and then running them through Merchinator to remove all the color and just keep the lines. Doesn't Merchinator have a filter for that?
I don't know. Is Merchinator still running?
I don't know.
I have no idea. Like, I just talked to Anthony today too. I should bust his balls about that.
Why you guys didn't tell me I had some snot on my beard? That's like not even cool.
No, Mark, we actually, so we do. Or do you have? Oh, I suck at designing. First of all, okay, I'm really good at research and stuff like that. I have really
you guys. I mean, you guys said you're making them in PowerPoint, right? Like that means you could make them in freaking anything. Google Slides. That means you can make them on Keynote on your phone or on an iPad.
Drag the image into place, put it on the template.
Right.
You just need an image that doesn't have color.
Wait, does it have does a lot of these software have like automatic pagination where you could be like 1, 2, 3, and then it's like it figures it out and it just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or do you have to position each one?
You have to like copy paste. You just basically copy paste the slide, the template, right? So like copy paste every single time.
Oh, so what are these templates? Are you guys making templates? Are you guys selling templates? Are we getting them from somebody else?
Download it from KDP. KDP will give you the exact size that it needs to be for whatever size book. So you tell them what size book, so 6x9, for example, how many pages you want to have, and it'll give you the exact template that you just.
What about the lines for the journal?
That you just put in yourself. Like that's just take the line tool and just draw a straight line across.
All right. Also, but there is some template stuff out there, right? Like let's save some time, right?
You can definitely, like, we've got, so some of the stuff that RJ has, like he has the fishing logbook, right? That has all the pages already lined out. You just have to basically put those into a notebook, copy and paste how many pages you want to have, and then put a cover on it, upload it. It's good to go.
Yeah, you got to understand that too. It's like we make it seem easy because we actually enjoy doing it, but it takes some work. It takes time and stuff like that to do it. Like you got to put effort into this. You upload one book at the beginning. I got so many rejections at the beginning. It pissed me off. It pissed me off because you got to understand there's sizing. Like if you don't have the sizing down right, you'll get a rejection, and you'll continue to get a rejection until you understand what you're doing. Just off by a little centimeter, you know what I mean? And you'll get a rejection.
Yeah, now what was we were on another show and you showed something and you were like, yeah, I know the graphics cut off, like don't get all over me, you know what I mean? Like we'll fix it. Here's a good one though. What about crossword puzzles and maze generators?
Yeah, so there's software out there that'll do that. That'll actually create all that stuff for you. You just basically, for a crossword, you would give it a list of questions and answers, and then it'll just spit it out. It'll build the entire crossword for you.
How in the world are you going to create a whole book of crosswords around a certain niche? That just sounds insane.
Dude, go look at the BSRs on crossword books.
No, I'm serious, but I mean, what's like how many? I guess like 20 to 40 in a book would be like respectable amount, I guess. But like, I don't know. How are you going to, I feel like if I was to make one for skateboarding, for example, I might be able to make like 4. After that, you know what I mean? Like
that's where you just go through and do the research, right? Like see what's selling. So go into the crossword niche, see what's like really popping off and what's selling, and then figure out like how you can put your own little spin on it. Like they're consumables too. That's the beauty of it, right? Like these are things that people aren't buying once. Like they're buying it and they're just buying it over and over and over again.
I just got the most insane idea, bro, because I've been traveling for the last 3 weeks through Italy, and everywhere I went was like ancient places, and they all had a thing to tour and a gift shop, you know. And I'm like, whoa. Maybe you can make a crossword puzzle for like Italy, ancient, monuments of the world. And it's like, Easter Island, Giza pyramids, Pompeii, like whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like you're learning. Plus, it's like a sub niche because like this is going to appeal to people that are traveling to these places, 100%. Or maybe they just left the places. And I'm like, right now, my kid's still stoked on all this stuff she learned firsthand. So I'm buying like, ancient Rome, Italy stuff like left and right to give to her because I'm feeding that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like, yeah, exactly. Like niche down into a place, right? Like Rome has all that history. Like you could do a crossword puzzle just about like Roman monuments and like all the stuff that's in there and all the different history and everything else.
Yeah, well, you could make 20 different ancient cities, and those are all the content. Literally just go to Wikipedia, pull out all the words from Wikipedia, and then come up with some questions. It actually might be kind of fun to do it. And then you get to say you're a published author.
Yeah.
Is this true or is this not true?
No, you do. I sold some Sudoku books. I think I said that right.
Yeah.
Yes, getting better. I sold. I uploaded them. Right, got them uploaded. Got about 20 of them, and 3 of them made sales. One of them made 4 sales. One of them, each one of the other ones made 1 sale each. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know how to say it, and I made a sale off of it. So that goes to something right there for you. So
Yeah. So I mean, this is Lance O says has to be what's selling, not good idea. But Lance O, I appreciate that comment, but it's right and not right because everything that is selling was once not selling before. It didn't even exist. So like it doesn't mean it's not profitable. It just might mean that there's no opportunity or people aren't doing it right or their pricing. It's just like Amazon FBA, you know what I mean? You can't always trust the rank. It could be bad supply. It's not FBA. It's overpriced. It would sell at a lower price. There's a lot of different things you got to be ready.
I mean, you're always going to do your research too. You're not just going to like pull stuff out of your ass. Like you literally just do your research and look on Amazon. You can see exactly what's selling.
But then here it goes again with like going back to that eclipse, dude. Like like in April or March, like it wasn't making sales at all or something like that. In February or something right there, right? It wasn't making no sales at all. And all of a sudden we got closer to the actual the eclipse, and then all of a sudden it started taking off like crazy. That was like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, insane. So Tracy says, how do you find out what's selling? She's actually asking Lance in the chat. So the way that you find out what's selling, Tracy, is just by doing standard research on Amazon, the same way you would do for any other products, specifically print on demand. But go to Amazon, use an incognito browser when you do your research, always, any kind of SEO research. That way the results aren't tailored to you specifically. And search for unicorn coloring book. Look at what comes up. How many results come up for one? That's probably the first thing you look at. Next, look at the ones on the first page of results. How many of them have reviews? What are their BSR ranks, right? So make sure, a lot of people don't have this yet, but make sure you get the DS Amazon Quick View extension installed. Everybody, if you're listening to this or you want to sell at all, you need this, because what it does is it gives you the BSR, the sales rank, on the search results page, which saves you an immense amount of time. Otherwise, you'd actually have to click on each one to go in and see it.
Yep.
What else, guys? What else? Any other specifics? I mean, I don't actually do it, but to me, it seems pretty similar.
Yeah, but right now, when you guys are starting off, using like all the free, like the free data that Amazon's giving you is probably all that you need right now. You shouldn't be paying for no tools at all. Unless you're using like your design tools or softwares and stuff like that, that's different. But when you're doing your research and entering a new business, especially with KDP, you don't need no money up front to do this at all. No investing in no type of inventory. Just use all the free data that you get provided through Amazon, Google, like wherever you guys are getting your data from.
Yeah, just like any of these stuff, the tools make it easier and you can save time. And there's always really great free tools even, but don't pay for anything if it's not actually saving you time, and learn how to do it first on your own. So like the value of the time that you're saving with the different tools that you're subscribing to. But I know tons of people that are really successful with merch and don't use any tools. They do all their research all by themselves. I know people that are like crazy at sniping Amazon deals, like, underpriced stuff off of Amazon and selling it back on Amazon. They're not using nothing but like really basic free stuff. You know what I mean? So you don't have to have, the best thing. You don't have to be a designer. You don't need an iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil. You know what I mean? You could do a lot of stuff with, basic text or simple clip art. Something I just did recently for my merch business, guys, is, and I should have did it ages ago. I signed up, I forget which one, but my designer actually was like, hey, can we sign up for this clip art website? Mm-hmm. And I think it's like $15-20 a month. But it has thousands of illustrations. So I went and looked at it and I just typed zombie, right? And it shows me all the ones I can't use unless I pay. And there was like 400 different zombies. Each one was cool enough to be like just on a shirt by itself with nothing on it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool, bet, let's get this. Now you're going to churn out more designs. You know what I mean? So now instead of 450 designs, I'm getting 600 designs a month. And they're awesome illustrations that not everyone else is using because I'm paying for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of getting started, like it's super, super basic. Like there, and there's a ton of content out there. Like RJ has a ton of content on like how to get started to make your first book. That download he's got down below, like we'll walk you step by step by step exactly what to do. I think it's just wrapping your head around the fact that like this stuff is super basic and it's not that hard to create. So it's like, how do you take it from that point where it's like super basic and just add a little twist, make it your own little thing, make it a little bit different. So it stands out, you know, how make it so it's something that is like unique and it's not a commodity.
What is there anywhere real life where you could go and like look at a lot of stuff and get inspiration for this time of stuff? Like I was just on vacation, so I would go into the tourist shirt shops, you know what I mean? And just look at all the shirts and be like, oh man. But like, for books and journals, like
Target, I guess, Walmart.
Yeah, we're just going to a bookstore, go to a Barnes & Noble and just go into like their journal section and see what they have. They have a whole section that's just nothing but like line journals and different prompts and all kinds of stuff.
It's funny. I guess I just never thought about how simple a journal is. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't buy a ton of them. I usually, you know, I get whatever I get. You know, go to the Dollar Tree, get a notepad or whatever. But they're probably, now that I think about it, they're probably extremely simple. It's a lot of the same stuff. We're talking about 8 pages repeating in a 50-page thing.
Yep.
Honestly, too, like right now, the audience, like grandma and grandpa are barely getting their Amazon Prime account. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, damn, you can buy crossword puzzles on here. You know what I mean? Simple stuff like that. And they're just buying away. And it's what's the price point is really good, too. If you have Prime, you're spending $7 and you get like a little activity in front of you that you get to, you know, it's entertainment for older people, too. Especially like, or if you're going on like any plane rides or anything like that, these people are on there doing like crossword puzzles and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I seen mad people with crossword puzzles. Mad people with crossword puzzles on the plane, on the train. Think about people that take and it's like kind of like a subculture niche or whatever. But underground subway trains do not have cell phone signal. So people that ride the subway all the time, they got to do something. They're either downloading their books before or downloading their YouTube or Netflix before, or they don't want to pay for that. And, you know, they got a little crossword puzzle.
As I was saying, there's like, do you need a permit for this? Yeah, I think a lot of people are overthinking this. You go onto Instagram, and you follow these people that are like have like a big following, right? Let's say they have over 100,000 or 200,000, and they have a book, right? And now they're like some big shot because they have a book. Okay, you look on it, it's on Amazon. It's the same exact way that we're teaching, like we teach people. It's the same exact thing that they're doing, but because they have a book, like people take it more seriously for some reason to that next level. I'm just like, like, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
We got a rock star question in the house. Yeah. How does RJ pick his niches? The same way he picks his nose. He digs for him.
That was good.
He digs for him.
Anaz. Actually, I give me and Anaz pretty much, and Matt, we all talk pretty much every day. So.
And I'm a little bit out of the loop. Is Anaz in on the KDP game or what?
Yeah.
He's just out here throwing us a bone, huh?
Nas is a hustler. Yeah, I mean, it's just like
with the book bolt thing that Neil does, is there a similar like trend tracker type of thing, like how Merch Informer has?
It'll do research. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Merch Informer has. It's coming. You know what I mean? It's going to be the kind of thing that they build out over time. I think that for me, like honestly, like the way that both of us do research is like what are we interacting with in our daily life? Like just what do you see that comes across? And once you get your mindset around like anything can be a book, you'll see stuff that pops up and you're just like, oh, I see that person writing down in a restaurant for like reservations. Like, let's check that out. Get on Amazon. Just pull your phone out and look. Are there reservation like logbooks or reservation notebooks? Fuck yeah, there are. They're good BSRs. I should look at that.
It's once you get down the rabbit hole, it's buck, because I do the same thing, not about books, but now I will. So it's like everything I see, I'm like, that's a Chinese product, that's a private label product, and like I look at, you know, like someone has a sign on the side of the building that says you can't park here, we'll tow you away. That's a private label product. You know what I mean? Little exit sign above the door, that's a private label product. Like,
those are good questions. So basically, you got bored with merch. Well, here, I got some backup for that. No, I'm actually still doing merch. I'm doing pretty much everything. I'm doing merch. I'm doing Etsy. I'm doing KDP. We're teaching. We did a 21-day challenge, me and Matt and another guy, Jacob. We're doing a challenge with that. Creating content on YouTube here on Reezy Live.
What kind of money are you guys making on KDP? And don't tell me you don't know the answer, because they hate that on the live stream when I ask that and then you don't know the answer.
RJ, what kind of money are you making?
Right now it's like I'm barely, because I started testing it. I started testing this about last year, and it started making a few sales. So right now it varies like 300 to 500 right now a month.
That's nice.
But
what are you spending a month to make that though?
Yeah, that's what I see right now. Like I have 2 people full time right now, and they are anywhere in the range of one person's between 200, 300, and the other one's between right now. There's got a race to 400, so 300 so 400. So
you're still like losing money, breaking even, but it's still
no. Right now, it's still during the slow season. So once we get into the Q4, that it better pick up.
Right. I feel like this is going to be my first really good Q4 with merch too for me, because I have like over 5,000 shirts listed. But what I really noticed is that hold on a second. Dang, I forgot what I was saying. What were we saying, RJ? I'm sorry.
No, we're just talking about the Q4, like how it's gonna like that's the like we're preparing for Q4, like that's what we're investing in right now. Like when Q4 pops off, it's gonna go.
It's such a holiday purchase type item.
Dude, I was pissed off because I missed the back to school. Right, back to school. There's a lot of composition books, and I missed that little trend. But hopefully, I'll hit it again when it comes around next year, because I did a lot of damage in that niche. So I hit it late though. I hit it very late.
Yeah, we got a couple people we know that like we kind of turned them on to KDP, and they started doing the composition notebooks really heavy for back to school, and they've made like over $1,000 in a month within like their 3rd month of doing it.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I remember what I was gonna say, and I don't know why I forgot, but my business is kind of the same way. Like I'm just now like getting into where I probably like I pay the VAs and then maybe make another 1,000 a month with my merch and Etsy all together. But I have my thing completely automated, and I'm not putting, my mind to it. So that's why it's not like, super profitable or whatever, but it's still growing. The concept is super legit, but I know it'd be way better. You know what I mean? If I was focusing on it all by myself. And I also know that if I decided tomorrow to stop paying them, you know what I mean? Next month would be like a $1,500, an $1,800 profit month. And that's just how it goes. You're paying them, but it's still growing. You know what I mean? But like if you stop right now, you're still making money. And that's like where the stream is.
Let me give you a merch example, right? Like, so I have not uploaded a single shirt for merch since like December of last year, right? In June, I made $4,400. I've not done anything with that account. Like that account's going to pay me probably like $35,000 this year. And I won't touch it. I won't do anything with it. It's just assets. Like
that's amazing. That's a sellable asset too.
Yeah, it's just the definition of passive income. Like it's the only thing I've ever had where it's like I don't do anything and I just make money.
Yeah, so it is passive, but it's not like overnight success.
No,
you know what I mean?
3 years of hard work, and it's not the kind of thing that's going to last forever. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to stay that way. Like competition is going to catch up with everything else. But in the meantime, like I'll take the money.
Yeah, for sure. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're live with RJ Hustles and Matt Sheeran here on Reezy Talks episode number 93, and we're talking about Kindle Direct Publishing, which is a form of print on demand where you can make books on Amazon, and then when people buy them, then Amazon prints it out and sends it to them, and you get charged. So I saw some questions in the chat that didn't make any sense, and so I'm just trying to clarify it up here. What we're talking about here is Kindle Direct Publishing.
Yeah.
And someone, let's see, I'm going back to the live chat real quick.
Honestly, Kindle Direct, it's more like me and Matt take like the approach of it as a more print on demand. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because like for example, like if I create an illustration, let's say like, for example, let's show this illustration, guys, on a shirt, right? All right.
Right.
It's a badass. This is a badass illustration. And look at, and there's a mummy on the top, right, with a little monster.
Is that a Like shirt?
Nah, that's my shirt, dog. Come on. But so you can repurpose that actual designs into other things. So,
right.
Check this out.
You got something else? Chi says, check this out, and then he just leaves. So, hey, Matt, how much are you doing on KDP?
I'm not doing very much. Like it's not a huge part of my business. Like my wife put up some coloring books last year. I think we've got like 20 coloring books that are live that make us anywhere between like 80 to $100 a month. Like our thing is Etsy. Like our Etsy shop is where our money is made. That's
so
where
you've been focusing on Etsy over merch for sure.
Like it's been what we've done for the last year and a half.
Throw me a bone. What are some new Etsy tips?
Yeah. Shit. But Etsy tips, like honestly, like publish, like get stuff up. Like
what kind of products are you publishing that most people aren't?
T-shirts, tank tops. So like
you're still focused on shirts.
but different varieties though. Like, don't just focus on just like the basic unisex t-shirt, right? Like, there are people out there that are looking for different kinds of t-shirts, different kinds of tanks, and most people aren't serving those to their customers.
Yeah, like V-necks, for example. I see Matt's wearing a nice V-neck right now.
Yeah, and the same thing too, colors, right? Like, get away from black. Like, do stuff
Yeah.
that's a different color, because everybody's focused on like black and the athletic gray and whatever, right? Like, offer something that's really pretty. Mostly women are buying this stuff. Like, get some pretty colors in your shop. Not too many. Like, don't do like 20 colors on a listing, but get something out there that like your wife would want to wear.
How many Etsy stores do you have?
6.
Are they're all niched?
Yeah.
No general stores?
No. They're all niche stores. One of them is the mock-up shop that we run. That's like digital downloads.
Yep.
And then another one is another digital download store that's like art.
And that's another hustle that Matt does, where they create flat lays. His wife photographs them, I believe, right? Or do you photograph them and she makes it look good?
She does it all. That's all my wife.
Yeah, I could never do a layout or be a designer or any, like, not a like artist designer. I mean, like interior. Like I put skateboards on the wall and I think it looks good. I'm like,
So
yeah,
that's a hustle. That's a print on demand hustle too. Have you seen that?
what?
People putting like illustrations on skateboards and putting them like as a backdrop. There's a
What do you mean?
There's a company that does that. They put, like, you can print out like, they'll print out like 4 different skateboards or something like that, and they'll send it to you. It's weird.
Like as a poster or something for your wall?
You got to look it up. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Or are you saying I could actually get a real skateboard with a print on demand graphic on it?
Yeah, you got to look that up.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Probably the worst wood ever. We're super particular about our wood, bro.
Okay, let me show you. So that shirt, remember the shirt, right?
Yep.
I showed you guys the shirt. Okay, the shirt. All right, now basically what I did was actually just repurpose it, and now look at, we have see that same dinosaur? Oops,
Dinosaur T-Rex coloring book for kids. That's very colorful cover, bro. I like it.
Where are we at? Can't see right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
you repurpose the dinosaur, and then all of a sudden you have a coloring book.
And our dabbing T-Rex.
Yeah.
Are those all illustrations that you had made, or are those assembled from vector art at all?
No, those are all illustrations that I had made.
Yeah, that's another tip, guys. If you're just listening, we're talking about Kindle Direct Publishing, which is a aspect of print on demand, and illustrations always sell way better than just like getting some random free vector artwork or whatever. Like I said earlier, I signed up for a vector artwork thing. I got to pay for it every month, and they have a massive amount of illustrations. You can check the box and like say, just show me illustrations. And it's insane, right? Because I would just, 150, 500 zombies, 500 different T-Rexes, all hand drawn, and you can see the artist's name and who drew it and be like, oh, I like his style or whatever. But that's just an easy way to level up. So if you're an illustrator and you can actually draw stuff, like, you have a huge advantage, because, most people, especially if you're trying to talk to an American artist and be like, yo, can you draw me a T-Rex with a zombie on it or whatever? That's going to be expensive. That's $100 at least from anybody who's, a reputable artist in America. What kind of rates are you paying for your illustrations, RJ, and where are your guys out of?
The rates that I'm paying. So I have 2 of them, and they're really legit. Like, they're really, really good. The first year, my guy he got the hang of it, kind of had a better understanding of what I was doing. Rates are $400 for both of them right now, but they're really good, and they do.
And how many illustrations per month do you get for that?
It all depends. Okay, so
but they're not from America, correct?
No, they're from the Philippines. So they do like 50 to 60 illustrations a month, but then that over time that builds up, and then next thing you know it, I have a T-shirt, and then next thing you know I have a coloring book. And we're more about thinking like long term. These are assets that we're going to use long term to scale out. You know what I mean? So, for example, I'll turn that dinosaur into a Cinco de Mayo. Put a I can't even think about it right now. What is it?
Sombrero.
Sombrero. There you go.
Yeah, what kind of Mexican are you, bro?
Jeez, man. No, but it really is an asset. Like I say, so tomorrow, if I fired everyone that I'm paying to help me do my merch and Etsy business, right? It would not only keep selling, but I have a huge catalog of designs. And a long time ago, I made them, like, I own them like outright. I have the Photoshop, the Illustrator files, which means I can create variations very easily by changing fonts or removing different layers or whatever. And that's a sellable asset to have 5,000 to 10,000 designs, even if they're, not niche, you know, it's a general t-shirt store, because think about what I paid to get those, you know, I'm not going to get that much back out of them probably, but you know, half of that, 25% of that, you know, what would you pay for 5,000 designs? You know, if someone's like, oh, I'll give you my catalog for $500, I'm out the game. You know what I mean? Like, that's a good deal.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, but it's honestly too, it comes to like building relationships with people. Me and Matt kind of like been doing that for like the longest time, is building relationships with good people. You know what I mean? Some of these, my illustrators are really good, like really good human beings, and like they deserve, like, even though that, let's say they only make 30 illustrations for the month, they still deserve that 400. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it's just working with them. And
yeah, for sure. You got to take care of your people. You know, I was just talking to my wife the other day because I have several VAs that have worked for me for like 2 years, and it's like, I don't just say my VA, I say their name, you know, and Andrea and Alejandra, thank you, ladies. You guys are holding us down. You know what I mean? And just random things will happen. Be like, oh, what's up? Oh, my internet's spotty because of this or that. And I was like, well, how much is your internet? I'm paying for your internet now. You know, I put that on the list. You know what I mean? Or, the power's out in Venezuela for 2 weeks where my family lives. I need to work right now. I need to get a $300 to get a generator for my family so they can run their refrigerator or the water purifier. And I'm like, I got you. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money, but to them, it's like $1 million. You know what I mean? They'll love you forever if you take care of your people.
Yeah, and you're building that relationship too, right? Like they will go to war for you. They will do whatever you need to do whenever you need it. Like that's how my VAs are. Like if they need something, I always give it to them because I know that it's going to come back and pay itself off in spades. So,
yeah, definitely. And always for those of you that don't have virtual assistants that work in other countries, it's customary to give them a bonus every year. They call it the 13th month, and it's equal to 1 month's pay. And I subscribe to that and more. So, but on the note of what we're talking about right here, Steve Hustle said he did a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Steve. He says, I'm in the 21-day challenge. These guys are legit. Thanks to Reezy for the introduction to RJ. And there it goes again, what we're talking about right now, building relationships and networking, because there's so many snakes out here in the grass that, like, if you trust me and I say you can trust Matt, you can trust RJ, then you know it's good. And it just saves you a lot of time and anxiety, because who knows what this random guy you found on YouTube or Google is actually doing. You know what I mean? A lot of people are making a lot of money selling courses about stuff they don't do and have never done. They might have just bought someone else's course and then remade it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Hey, dudes, hey, I'll be the profile pic shout out. Hey, Steve Hustle, that was a good profile pic. I was like,
let's bring it back real quick.
Yeah, bring it back.
Steve Hustle with the double middle finger. He's keeping middle fingers cool. I actually seen while I was on trip, some European kids, they're like 15, 16. They're still throwing up the middle finger at the camera. I don't know if that's cool again or if they're still on it. I thought that went out of style. Middle finger's still cool. You're the only one of us that's a bachelor, RJ. Is it still cool?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been hanging out with nobody like that lately.
Yeah, that's right.
I've been hustling so hard with
this. If the people you hang out with are flipping off the camera, you need some new homies to hang out with.
Right.
Unless they're your drinking buddies.
Yeah.
So Jessica Martinez says basically you can publish anything on KDP. Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to publish like Fortnite stuff or Marvel stuff or Disney stuff, right? Like that's going to get you kicked off the platform. But if you have an idea and it's not depending on somebody else's like intellectual property, like just go for it. You can make whatever you want.
Video game logbook, right? What game did you play? How long did you play for? What was the first place, second place? How many matches did you win? You know what I mean? What power-ups did you get? What kind of dances did you do?
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, man, you can go like any like sky's the limit for sure. There's so much you can do. That video log game was actually a good idea.
But the video log, that's funny. So I feel like just like you guys are saying, it's wide open fields, because I feel like I could just come up with ideas all day long, right?
You'll come up with ideas, and you'll see that there's demand, right? Like there'll be books that have BSRs that are really low. There's just not a lot of competition. There's not very many things in the niche. Like you'll go and compare it to like merch, right? And like I said, like you'll find something that has like 300 results, where the merch one has like 5,000 or 6,000 results.
Right. I just feel like there's going to be so many niches. I'll have an idea and I'll look and there will be nothing there at all. And I'll be like, wow, nothing. like
No,
that something.
Well, a lot of people give up though because, like, I'm telling you, if you don't do it correctly, don't understand the process. It's not like merch. That's why a lot of people come on to Merch by Amazon. They copy a design and they can upload it to like 8 different products like that. On here, it's different. It takes time. Like, you can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna copy this person's interior, his cover. Like, you have to have the PDF. You have to have the PDF for the interior. There's more work to it, and that's why it's like keeping away all like the copycats away from the platform too, on KDP.
Oh, I just sold a T-shirt, baby.
Hey, man.
Public. I support public school. That's the niche that I just sold the T-shirt in. I just made $3.99, $3.94, I think, actually.
Guys, we got 83 people watching right now, and there's only like 40 thumbs up. Like, hammer that thumbs up. Come on, guys.
Come
like,
on, guys. Smash the like button. That's what the kids are saying, right? Smash the like button. And selling a day planner. So Mark, again, hold on a second. I have a real phone and it's ringing. No one, whoever you are that's calling me on the real phone, I hate you. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. Just take that sucker off the. We'll just take that off the hold right here. Just follow Jordan Flack. He's got the right idea. Smash the like button.
Thank you, brother.
Thought that was my eBay. Nope, that was my cha-ching. Don't try to steal my cha-ching.
So I saw Mark's comment about the daily planner. Like, planners are really big right now, right? Because it's the same thing, seasonal, right? Like, people are getting ready for 2020. So like, people are starting to buy their planner for next year. Like, me and RJ both, like, we live off our planner. Like, every single day we're writing stuff down in it. So like, you can create whatever kind of planner that you want to make, monthly, daily, yearly, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like that because I'm one of those guys that just can't find a planner that I like. And what I want is I want the lines to be bigger because I write really big. I don't want it to organize it by 15 minutes. I'm not that crazy. A half hour is good enough for me, every half hour, you know what I mean? And I want a space on the side of every page for a to-do list. So I don't have to have a to-do list and a planner. Can I just have that? Yeah. I'm going to have to make it.
So then you might have someone else out there that's actually wants the same thing too, and all of a sudden you start getting sales.
Right. And then I forget who is it? Who is it? Is it MFCEO that has a custom planner? These guys are probably like fully making them like legit with their own binding, buying them, investing in them or whatever. But there's so many different styles about it, you know, like what is it? The 5 things that are important for your day. And did you actually do it? Did you win the day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Tim Ferriss is the one that actually kind of like made it popular, like that 5-minute journal. That was one of his people that read the 4-Hour Workweek and came out with it. And then Tim started to promote it. And it's like super, super simple. It's basically like 5 different prompts that you write down in every single day.
Yeah, Michael knows. He's like me. I don't know who these people are. Like, you'll get a planner and the lines will be so close together. It's like half the thickness of a regular lined paper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about you need a microscope just to write this. Like those guys that write like little poetry on a grain of rice, those guys would kill it on those.
No, those actually in the reviews too as well. You look in the reviews, they have people complaining about I can't even write in this damn book. Like, how am I supposed to like? It's like my writing's all over the place. I don't even like this book. So check out the reviews too when you're doing research for any niche. Check out the reviews. Look at the top selling book. See what they're saying in the reviews, and they'll actually show pictures of the interior too as well, because sometimes it doesn't show it in the view now, that little option that Amazon gives you.
But there'll be a customer image. And usually if they're posting images, it's probably because they're mad and they're showing you why they're mad.
Yep, 100%. Tells you exactly.
Here's the other thing though, they're so cheap. It seems like it's the price point is like, I'm mad, but I'm not even going to return it because my time's worth more than that. I'll just throw it away.
Well, the beauty of it is there's no returns either on KDP, so you don't have to deal with that like merch.
And they're currently, if there is a return, you're not getting charged back for it. But we could assume that might change in the future because merch did.
I don't know, man. Like I said, KDP's been around for a long time. It's been around for 13 years in this form right now. Like, it's way more established than merch.
Right, but I feel like there's like a new renaissance with it. Like, could you not have been doing this all along from 14 years ago? Because I feel like back in the day, the thing was like, have some VAs write a book about weightlifting for you. And then just boom, you got a book about weightlifting. And then they were paying you by the page reads, right? And so there was the trick where you would put in the table of contents, like go to page 1 would be like on the last page, or, you know what I mean? There was like a weird thing where the first thing they would see would be a link to click on that would actually send them to page 1, but it would be in the end of the book. And then that would send the signal that they read the whole book. And then you get paid based on page reads. But it wasn't, you know what I mean? It was really, I never heard anybody talking about this, but I heard lots of people talking about, I've got 800 books published, and books about all kinds of topics. You know, I just hire people to write books for me.
Think about what we talked about earlier, right? Like, so 10 years ago, like cell phones weren't such a big thing, right? People weren't so focused on trying to find alternatives. People weren't so focused on like actually journaling and spending the time to write down their thoughts. I just see this stuff constantly. People are promoting it on Instagram and Facebook, like, you know, journaling and how to get away from the phone and step away from technology and all that stuff. Like, I think that's where the real drive for this is coming from. That's why there's so much more demand right now.
Yeah, definitely. Real quick, let me shout out Mr. OZ for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. And because he's super chatted me, we're going to go into this one, even though it's not a Kindle question. He says, went FBA full-time a month ago and have 400 books in. My sales last 30 days are at 4,400. How long did it take you to start making over 6,000 in sales? I don't think you really want to ask me that question because I started selling FBA the first year you could send stuff into FBA. So there was a lot less competition, and it was different times than it is now. But with 4,400 in sales, with 400 books in, I think you're doing really good, and you're on the path to success. I would say 1% sell through per day is probably what you should look at for books.
And also too, if you're doing like in July, the last 30 days, July is the slowest month of the year for, I think I want to say, for Amazon in general, people buying stuff online.
Yeah, but August is the best month for books. So, you know, I would expect you to have more, but you just got to send more books in. And I don't know. I can't really answer that question because it was a different time. It's not today. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I will try and get you an answer from someone who is starting now or started recently.
The back to school flip, huh?
Yeah. Let's see. What size planner do you prefer, Reezy? I like a full size, like an 8.5 by 11.
That's
it's going on my desk. It's sitting right next to my life. It's right there. I can see it without putting my glasses on.
Maybe she can help you out with something like that. It's my girl Teresa. Always got her back.
Oh yeah. Is this one of your designers?
No. She's Teresa. She's from USA. She's cool. She's awesome.
Yeah, you can do print on demand for a day planner through KDP. Exactly what we're talking about. Let's see. 55 likes on the screen. That's not enough. I feel slighted. People used CreateSpace instead of Kindle, but they still were doing journals and coloring books back then. Awesome. I guess I was just out of the loop. Those people must have been really killing it back in the day. But man, what did we not cover? What did we not cover?
Honestly, like I think we covered most of it. I think you know, like a lot of it is just like you learn stuff by doing it, right? Like it's really not that complicated. It's not. It's a little time consuming. Like it can take some time to figure some of the stuff out, but like there's a ton of resources out there on YouTube videos, everything else that'll get you started. And then
is there anybody that you guys look up to on YouTube?
Kelly Roberts did a bunch of stuff that was really good. That was what her YouTube channel is really, really solid. Like it's got a lot of good little tutorials on it. Yeah. And then RJ is putting out a ton of stuff about KDP content right now. And it's kind of perfect too, because, you know, he's kind of just showing the entire journey, like showing from start to finish, like how do you start from the very beginning? And then how do you scale the business out?
Awesome. Let's see what
Kelly,
else?
Kelly, we interviewed her last year, and usually around like December, she does like 18,000 with like no inventory, no nothing.
Just on KDP.
Just KDP.
Yeah, crushes it. I'm like,
does she do merch? Does she do merch by Amazon or Etsy as well?
A little
or no?
bit, like her hustle's KDP.
Yeah.
Right. What's interesting about this is that like being people who come from the t-shirt side of it, we kind of have an advantage because we have all these graphics and stuff already. If you're like a killer KDP person, it's not the same coming back. You got a bunch of pages with lines and numbers. That's not going to sell on a t-shirt.
That was the thing that turned us on about it originally. It was like, we've got all these assets. Like, why are we not putting them to work? That's why we started doing coloring books. It's like, I had all these badass illustrations that were just going on t-shirts. Like, why would I not put those in coloring books?
And how simple was it to actually just take out the color of the illustration and put it into a line? You know what I mean? Also too, it gets like the detail work, like in with the illustration, it kind of gets the illustrator working more and kind of gets them thinking because they have to take out the color. They have a more detailed illustration.
Right.
It shows that they actually put the time into the actual work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm super pumped. That first thing I want to figure out, there's first two things I want to do is how do I get all of my images instantly just to be like coloring book ready fast. I got to figure that out. And then next I want to go to like Target or whatever bookstore is near, whatever, and just go to where journals and notebooks are and just start looking at them. I can't believe it never crossed my mind really, but it will be like the dumbest thing, like a unicorn on the cover, and then it's all blank in the inside, just lines.
Yeah.
And it's sitting at Target. There's probably 5 different versions of it.
No, that's another thing too. If it's harder to make, you're gonna have less competition. A lot of people don't understand that. They expect it to like just be so easy. No, like if it's harder to make, you're not gonna have that much competition. You know?
Right. I can tell you that I'm definitely having allergy issues right now. Michael Wheeler seems to be. Think it's something else, but it's not, bro. It's not. Trust me. I don't do real drugs.
Somebody's way too concerned about that.
Yeah.
Way too much attention to your nose.
Yeah. Well, I think I probably blew my nose without muting my mic a couple times. So, but overall, I'm so pumped for this and getting my VAs on running this, getting the book bolt or looking into that. What does book bolt do exactly? It helps with uploading, right? Faster.
So it can help you with uploading.
So that alone makes it something you need.
Yeah, it's great too for people that like just want to create stuff themselves really quickly. Like it has all of the things in there, so you can create like your cover templates, your interiors, everything else all at once. You don't have to go to KDP and get that stuff or anything else. And if you're not a designer, like the designer function on it is legit. It's all integrated, works really, really well to be able to like just pump stuff out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then also just research stuff. I mean, but the upload thing is a no-brainer. When it saves you time, you know what I mean? That's when they get my money.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Saving time is a big thing.
Is there any other platforms where it's worth putting these books on, or no, just KDP? Is there a Redbubble of KDP?
There is like other platforms you can do. Like I think Redbubbles has some stuff, but honestly, man, it's KDP, man. Like just the expanded distribution on KDP and how easy it is to get it out onto all those different marketplaces. It's honestly like you're losing money by not spending time just putting it to KDP and then sending it all out. You know what I mean?
Right. Got any giveaways, RJ? I know you got something you're selling that you're trying to give away.
Nah. We're putting out content for that 21-day challenge. We're not really selling nothing.
Does BookBolt have an affiliate program?
It does.
And do you got a link in your YouTube videos or something, RJ?
Yeah, I have that.
All right, so if you learned about BookBolt through this video and you're gonna go pay for it anyways, make sure you stop by RJ's YouTube channel and get that link. Go to his channel and click on it. Not on the link in my video because that's probably going to be my link, and I just learned it from RJ. So make sure you give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I will say one last tip for Etsy for you. If anybody is interested in the Etsy hustle, we're going to be putting out a Etsy challenge, just like we did with this KDP challenge. Like it's going to take you from start to finish, from like A to Z on like how to get your Etsy store started, like how to optimize it, how to build it out, best practices, like how to actually like get ready to crush right before Q4.
Yeah, so let's go over that real quick because I like Etsy better than merch also. Like people are consistently like, I try to get into merch and I can't. And I'm like, did you try Etsy? Because to be real, the reason I got onto Etsy was because of the freeze. When the freeze happened last year was when I started Etsy. And I'm so thankful that the freeze happened because I realized how profitable Etsy is. And it's like, it's way less saturated than merch. I make way more for every shirt that sells. The only thing is the customer service. You know what I mean? Or like people do dumb things. They'll order a shirt and in the notes, they make a custom request. And I'll do a custom request, but you already ordered the thing. And by the time I saw the order, it's already being printed. And you know what I mean? It's a happy birthday Nana shirt and you wanted it to say Nona or something, or Nini or whatever your name is for your grandma. You know what I mean? So
the beauty of Etsy is just like any business though. Like you can systemize everything. Like my VA takes care of 98% of my customer service. Like she literally has scripted answers for 99% of the stuff that comes across.
Not to mention the fact that it's you're building an asset with Etsy. Yeah. With merch, you're acquiring designs and stuff, and you can like store that, and that's reusable, and that's an asset. But with Etsy, you're building a brand, or you have the ability to build a brand. And Etsy lets you link to social media, so you can come out and you can communicate with your customers. Not to mention the fact that they're your customers. On Amazon, they're not your customers; they're Amazon's customers.
Yeah, you get the emails.
Yeah, with Etsy, man, it's gonna be crazy because it's just, I don't know, it's so much behind it. But at the same time, it's like the sales. Like I got 3 orders right now within the hour that I'm talking to you guys on my watch or on my whatever the hell you want to say it. They came in and just like stuff like that. It's crazy. And and just to be able to take care of like those orders. So for example, the sales that come in on Etsy, like they crush it. Like I'm not even sure how many I got today. Like
I make an average of like $3 to $4 on a merch T-shirt. That's ranking and maybe has a reviews that I've pumped up. You know what I mean? You're not going to get it much higher than that. I mean, some people might be selling T-shirts for $30. I don't know. But on Etsy, I'm making $10. I'm making 8 to 10 on every shirt I sell.
The customer service is pretty cool too, because you actually can close the customer too as well, because they have a question about the sizing. You can't do that on Merch by Amazon. You go on Etsy, they ask a question about sizing, you actually respond back to the customer. They have they want to order 50 shirts and they want like a little bit of a discount or something. You can offer that to them too, and boom.
And then the customer research too, right? Because someone will ask me like, can you do this to a shirt? And it kind of intrigues me because I'm like, wow, someone wants that. I never thought about that. Then you can click on their Etsy profile and you can see what stuff they're looking at or what they've been liking. I'm not sure what it lets you see. I think it's what they've liked or favorited or whatever.
Yep.
And that's an immense amount of research, because I can see, okay, let's say my shirt is like, hockey mom or whatever. And then I go and look at their thing and like I see all the stuff they've been looking at, all kinds of hockey mom stuff. You know what I mean? It's just ideas on top of ideas. And with Merch by Amazon, you obviously don't get any of that opportunity.
Yeah, you get to actually like customize things and make things personal too, right? So like on Amazon, you can't personalize something, right? So like you can't say, mom, dad, brother, put their names on it, whatever. Like on Etsy, like around the holidays, those shirts fly off the shelves, man. Like doing custom shirts for families for like Christmas pajama shirts, like huge niche, crazy demand. People are looking for that stuff because they all want to take that picture on Christmas morning with their, their shirts that have their names on it.
Right. Yeah, that's so funny to think about Instagram culture, the photo that they want to take or whatever. My daughter always says the camera eats first, Dad. Like you don't. It's like rude to take a bite of your food before the picture. You know what I mean? The camera eats first.
That's a legit like something.
Throw
like
that on a shirt. The camera eats first.
For sure.
We're excited.
We're real excited for that. Like Etsy has been me and RJ's jam really for like the last year or so. Like we do the merch thing, everything else. RJ more than I do. And we've been doing the KDP stuff, but like Etsy, like that's what we crush. Like that's where the money is made. So
here's a good tip right here. And I was going to kind of talk about this too. JB Flip says one of my best Etsy shirts came from a request from a customer. And that's amazing. Just like came out of nowhere, right? And that's why I don't mind making custom stuff for people as long as they ask me properly before they buy it, because the chances are that one customer is the only one person in the world that wants it is zero. And they're having trouble finding it, or else they wouldn't have asked you for it. They would have bought it already.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many of those we have up in our shop. It's like literally, it's just like, can you do this, but add one word to it? Sure, no problem.
Boom.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like they want something custom, I'm charging them, instead of $22 a shirt, $23 a shirt, I am charging them $32, $34 a shirt.
So they ask for it, you say yes, you make it, you bump the price up, then drop the link.
This is a custom order right here, so it's going to take a little bit more time because I have to make a completely new design. You know what I mean? And then, but technically you're not. I'm just sending it over to my VA. He does it real fast, and it's done like literally within 20 seconds.
A lot of the custom stuff, you could change it yourself very easily, but having a designer definitely helps, because sometimes a quick text change, you'll change the name and now it's shorter and now it doesn't look right on the shirt. And to be, a designer would know they need to make the text bigger. They need to adjust the leading or the kerning on these letters or whatever it is to make it proper. But I mean, going ghetto, just changing the text, like just walk around outside and look at what people are wearing. You know what I mean? Like it's not stupendous. You know what I mean? It's pretty stupid sometimes.
You better
like
I just challenge too. You better get in here with us too.
Get on the challenge. And like I just seen Matt at Disneyland, actually technically DCA, we can call it Disneyland.
Yeah.
But man, that's one of my favorite things to do, is to just, when my wife's like, we got to go to the restroom, I'm just like, cool, I'm planted. I just sit there and just watch t-shirts walk by.
Dude, there are so many Etsy shops that do Disney stuff, and I'm just
God.
I can't believe you guys are doing that. Like they've been around for a while.
Crushing it too, huh?
Oh
yeah. I'm not talking Disney shirts. I'm just talking about anywhere where you can be where there's a lot of people walking around. You see a lot of shirts. It's paid more attention to the ones that you can make or replicate, but pay special attention to how stupid they are. People buy and wear the dumbest stuff.
Also, like it helps you like understand like the quality game doesn't have to be anything crazy either, right? Because you see so many people at Disneyland wearing like super cheap T-shirts, like that, just super basic stuff.
Disneyland does the same thing too. They have like their hangs lineup too, of like print on demand shirts or printed shirts or whatever. Me and Matt were like, we went to Disneyland together one day and
On a double date.
And no, we're just
hands skipping.
yeah, no, but for example, right now, one of the shirts that are gonna be do really good is Hocus Pocus. And a lot of these top shops, if you go on Etsy, you look at Hocus Pocus, right? Hocus Pocus shirt. This shop has been open since 2012, right? And it has over 40,000 sales, and it's crushing it. You know, and it just I don't know
how Hocus Pocus not trademarked because there's a movie named Hocus Pocus.
I mean, it's not trademark, it's copyright, right? Like, so you're infringing on their copyright for whatever reason. Like, Disney has not come down on a lot of these shops in a long time, so I think it's going to be a bloodbath at some point. I steer clear. I'm not about to touch it, but it is interesting to see like what people are buying, like shirt colors and shirt styles, right? Because all that information is there in front of you.
Oh yeah. And even though we're talking about shirts right now, this stuff all still applies to KDP because when you see someone wearing a shirt, you know there's demand for that niche, not just that shirt, but it's like that person's into fishing or volleyball, and like how can you take that, maybe that phrase, and put that on a journal, or maybe that kind of drawing or whatever, just to the more we're into marketing and selling stuff and SEO, I get like really psyched to just like kind of develop a picture of a customer in my head, or like a profile. That's why I get really psyched on Etsy, being able to see what they look at, because you get to see not only are they looking at a hockey shirt, but they're also looking at mugs and planners. And then you're like, holy crap, someone's trying to make a whole hockey room. They got hockey rugs. They got a hockey towel. They're trying to decorate a whole thing with a hockey theme. And I would have never thought of that.
It gives you so many ideas. There's so much information. That's why I love Etsy. It's the complete opposite of Amazon in so many ways, because you get to actually interact with the customer, get all that information, get the search data, get their email. Like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, super fun.
So it's not to distract from the KDP thing. It's
no. It's all good. It's all the same information. Organic conversation flow. That's what happens around here, guys. Someone was asking, how do the Disney shops stay up? And it's basically because they haven't been reported yet. And at some point, Disney's probably going to go through there, and like Matt says, bloodbath city. Is it possibly because merch maybe has an automatic way for them to submit claims and Etsy doesn't?
No. So I think it has to do with the fact that merch has a direct partnership with Disney. So like their merch is a partner with Disney. They produce Disney shirts. So they have a vested interest in actually cleaning that stuff up, whereas Etsy's not. Etsy's just a marketplace. So they're not going to go through and clean anything up until it gets reported.
Yeah, because there's still, if you look on Amazon, there's plenty of people selling copyright, trademark infringing stuff, just not as a Merch by Amazon seller.
Correct.
You can buy it on Amazon, but they create their own listing. Amazon's not liable for it. You know what I mean? So like you said, they're not inspired to go after it so much because they're not on the line.
Correct. So.
No.
Awesome. Well, that's about it, guys. RJ and Matt, thank you guys for tuning in and giving me an hour and 22 minutes and 29 seconds of your time.
Thanks, brother.
I appreciate it. If you guys appreciate these guys, please make sure you go click on their YouTube link down there. Subscribe to RJ. Subscribe to Matt. They both have Instagram. You can find them on the post that I just did today for the show on my Instagram, and you guys can follow them back. Facebook. What's the name of your group, RJ? I forget. It's like the Best Merch by Amazon group on Facebook, right?
Our group it's Merch by Amazon Masterminds.
And are you putting Kindle content in there as well?
Yeah, me and Matt, we gotta figure out how to rebrand that, because we're doing.
Just put the word KDP in there. You're good.
Yeah.
Merch by Amazon and KDP Masterminds.
No, but there's Etsy too now. Like, what do we do?
And what about you guys have a podcast as well?
Yes,
Talk with Matt and RJ.
We got to get a little bit serious on that and like kind of keep it updated. I have it all uploaded, but I have to actually put the name correctly down and the description, all that stuff. So
awesome.
It's real talk.
Real talk with Matt and RJ. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you smash the like button before you leave. If you're watching this after we're live, please leave a comment down below with a timestamp letting me know what was your favorite nugget from the show. Include a timestamp and a quote. I'm going to pick someone from the comments section, and they're going to get one of these thrifter hats available in black or camo. It'll be a lot less sweaty than this one that went to Europe with me, but it'll be great. And you're going to get it for free for helping me out by leaving those nuggets down there. And then we'll make awesome short form content, send it to Matt and RJ so they can post it on their things.
Nope.
It's going to be a fun time. But as always, I appreciate you guys for being here. If you somehow listen to this whole hour and 24 minutes and you don't know what any of us are talking about, you don't even know what Amazon is, go to my website, reezyresells.com, and pick up my free intro to Amazon course. That should get you in the game. Otherwise, follow all these guys. They got lots of free content. And as always, you know what we say around here. If you ain't flipping,
You slip in.
you got to be more enthusiastic than that.
I did the same thing last time too.
If you ain't flipping,
Slip in.
you slip in, right? Because there's a lot of opportunities out here in this digital space, right? It's not 1920. You don't have to make money the same way your grandparents did. We got options and opportunities. So get in the game and quit trying like acting like the internet's just for looking at memes and, you know, shark puppet movies or whatever is popular right now.
West Coast
Right.
house.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. West Coast signing out.
Bye.
Peace, guys. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
See you on the flip side.
Uh-oh.